Hello.
Hey, how's it going?
Good. How are you?
Doing all right. You kind of went sideways on me there. There we go. All right. Got the old panoramic view going on there.
Yeah, I know, right? You can see everything.
Absolutely. Hey, I get the bass player first. That's awesome.
Isn't that a first? No.
Hey, I'm a bass player too, so I'm all about that life. I love the shirt.
Thank you. What kind of bass do you play?
Actually, my most recent acquisition, I'm glad you asked. I've been wanting for years is a 5-string Spectre. And it's
wow.
Yeah, it's an NS model with the interstellar color. It's fantastic, and I've wanted one for years. And let's see, I think we've got Moriah knocking here. Let's see. This always takes a minute. There we go.
I know it does.
Hello.
We got you. How you doing?
Good. How are you?
I'm doing all right. Get to talk to you again. Last time I talked to you, you guys don't have a show tonight, I take it.
Huh?
Yeah, I take it you guys don't have a show tonight.
No, we don't.
I don't know. No, I'm just kidding.
No,
we don't.
Last time I talked to you,
wait.
y'all had a show that night, so you were having to rest your voice, and you were teamed up with Brooke, and Brooke is just kind of quiet. So I was just sitting there, kind of like, so that was interesting.
Oh my God, that was on the Mammoth tour, wasn't it?
I think so. It was God, it was still 2021. I think like October.
Oh man.
TBT, Throwback Thursday.
Yeah, I know.
Right?
Dang.
So
that is so awkward. I'm so sorry.
Oh no,
well,
you're
fine.
I'm always I actually even admitted in that interview I am terrible doing interviews. So it's one of those things that like if I get those people that you ask them a question and it's like the floodgate burst open, that's my kind of interview, because I'm like, my job's done. So it's a lot simpler. And actually one of my most recent interviews I did was Nick Offerman from Parks and Rec, and I had no idea what I was going to get with him, because he's got a very dry sense of humor, and dry senses of humor go right over my head, because you don't know if they're just messing with you or if they're being serious. So I was like, okay, right. I'm going to go. He was the most laid back, cool person to talk to ever. I was just so excited.
That's awesome.
That's awesome.
Yeah, I love when I get those. So what's going on?
Well, thanks for having us again.
Oh, absolutely. Are you guys in the middle of recording right now, or?
No, we're not currently, but it is in the plans for some point. We don't have a time frame yet, but we're definitely working on stuff for album 2.
Okay, damn, that's what I was hoping for. I was like, I'm gonna get the dirt right here. I'm gonna get the dirt on the new album. What I'm liking so far, though, it sounds like, I mean, not like the last album was easy listening or anything, but Left Behind sounds just a little bit more aggressive. I'm liking that.
Thank you so much.
Thank you.
Absolutely.
It definitely is. I love the drop tuning stuff. I like the heavierness too. I really, really do.
Really?
It's so fun to play live.
Yeah, it really is. That energy is just like.
So what did you guys tune down to for this?
B.
Nice.
Yeah.
Yeah, and playing
first song in dropping.
Playing a 5-string, I've dropped our actually, yeah. So being a 5-string, we're dropped down a whole step. So we're dropped from B to an A. So it's like that heavy string, dude, is just like flapping in the wind. And I was just telling Ashley before you hopped on, I just recently acquired Spectre, and I have wanted one of those for years, because it's like the freaking Rolls Royce of basses. And I was just like, so now I got it, and now I'm like, maybe I need to learn how to play now.
Yo, that's awesome.
Oh, dude.
The Rolls Royce of basses. I love that.
Is. That thing is just like, oh, it's so great.
You can even drive it. No.
Yeah, it's awesome. It's like, seriously, I plugged that thing up, and it's kind of like, all right, where are we going? And Ashley, I know you're a Fender girl.
I am.
I mean,
I love my Fender.
Yeah, you even.
Dude, I thought you played Schecter.
Right? Schecter. I don't even know her.
No, I'm just playing. Sorry, you had a question. You asked her something that was way more important than what I said.
Oh no!
What'd
Oh,
you
you were
say?
talking about Schecter. I know that whole Spectre and Schecter thing, always so similar. The way it sounds, and it's always one of those things that, like, actually, first time I told somebody I got one, they thought I said Schecter. I'm like, oh no, I'm talking Spectre here.
Yeah. You're like, no.
But no, you
I'm talking
actually
Rolls
play
Royce.
Fender amps too, right, Ashley?
I do use Fender amps. Yeah,
And-
I love the way they sound. They're just so, I don't know, everything Fender, I really love. It's so good to play for me.
I picked up on that from watching the what's the live recorded video you do? Is it Will Not Win? And you're out there lugging your big 810 cab, and I'm like totally feeling your pain on that because I have a GK 810 cab. And those things, if those things did not come with wheels, I don't know what I would do. I'd play like some little combo amp or something.
Those calves, I mean, the tone is great and it's worth the physical pain, but every time that we're getting ready to leave for tour and I'm loading that thing into my car by myself, I'm like, what did I do? Why did I pick this instrument? Like,
Hey,
like, what am I doing?
every time I get done with a set, because I play in a metal band where our drummer has like at least a 10-piece kit. Every time that we load up at the end of the night, I'm like, I'm going to quit and go join some jazz fusion band where all of their plans like a 3 or 4-piece kit and be done with it.
Exactly. But it's worth it when you look in the mirror the next day and then you feel like your biceps are a little bit bigger, even though they're not. So the mental confidence boost is just everything to me. That's why I play bass.
Yep. Hey, and plus two bass, you get something with it, man. It's like, there's a reason why Gene Simmons, I'm pretty sure it's Gene Simmons, sings God of Thunder. Because I mean, that's what you are when you play bass. You're the God of Thunder.
I guess.
Damn.
I'm waiting for my powers, but
Hey, dude, you flip that thing on, man. That's
here.
a switch. That brings it, dude. That's why I've always loved playing bass. And like I know Moriah plays guitar. I started out playing bass, tried one time to pick up a guitar. And after playing bass the first time, that guitar did not last very long because I would just play like simple power chords, kept muting that third string. It'd be like, ding, and I was like, so my fingers just weren't used to like trying to hold something that narrow. I'm used to strings that are like that far apart.
Right.
Picking on a guitar is weird too after playing bass for a while. I started on guitar, but then I ended up switching to bass. And now whenever I pick up a guitar, I'm kind of like, what am I doing?
Right. And you see, I'm left-handed, so that's always made finding instruments really hard. And
wow.
And then the tattoo artist me and my wife go to told me about reverb. And I'm kind of glad he did, because otherwise she probably would have divorced me by now, because now that I've discovered reverb, you can also finance through a company called Affirm through that. So it's like it's like the running gag is like every other month. It's like, hey baby, I bought a guitar, and it's like, and all the guys in the band are like, dude, she is totally going to divorce you. Or one of our guitarists is actually on a podcast we do together, and he goes, because hadn't she pretty much said that it's either be married or have a new guitar, and it's like, it's a running gag going on with that show.
That's amazing.
Yeah, it's a lot of fun, but my wife is actually very supportive of it, thank God. And she's a nurse. I work in radio, so you can imagine that, like, here's her income and there's mine right about there. So I said it's like the opposite gender role. It's like, the woman's the breadwinner and I'm the one going out spending. Woo!
Hey, well,
if it works, it works.
It works. Exactly.
Yes, absolutely, it works. So I know you guys are working on the second album. You said you don't have any specific date set for it yet. But do you have a lot of material already ready, or do you guys just kind of group together and write as a band, or how do y'all normally do that?
We do have some material in the works. We've been working with a team called the Four Horsemen. They're really amazing. And That's what we wrote Left Behind with, actually. And they are just so amazing, so much fun to work with. And we've been writing some really cool songs with them. And then I write on my own too. For ideas and stuff like that.
Right. And I imagine, I mean, there's so much, I'm sure there's so much creativity just running between the four of y'all. And of course, Ashley has her own solo thing she does too. So it's like, I mean, you guys just seem like you're all over the place, and y'all been on some absolutely amazing tours.
We have been on some crazy tours, and we're so grateful for all the experiences that we've had in such a short time. It's just so crazy to watch this thing progress and be a part of something so amazing.
Has there been any tours that you've been on that you're just like, sweet Lord, how did I get on this tour with this band? I'm sure there've been quite a few of those, but what would be like some of the top ones for you guys?
I think mine has to be the Evanescence and Halestorm one, just because those bands are it for me. Like they were my two, biggest heroes, hands down. So that was the one for me.
My favorite band is Alice in Chains, so I have to say that tour was very special.
Oh, I can imagine. I actually did a Zoom call with William Duvall not too long ago.
He's so amazing.
Oh yeah, he's promoting that new Who single that he's a part of. So
that's such a great song.
Oh yeah, and that was something else we were talking on our podcast recently. What they called throat singing, and I didn't know there was an actual term for it. What the Who does. They're like, think of the Who. That's throat singing. I'm like, oh okay. I was sitting there thinking it was like Audio Slave. Chris Cornell like thumping his Adam's apple, doing that one part he does at the end of I can't remember which song it is, but he always does that and I'm like, that's the strangest thing ever. Of course, I guess that'd be throat thumping.
Yeah, though I've heard of that. What is it? What they Mongolian throat singing?
Yeah.
That's what it is, and it's like like it's so weird, but it's so cool.
Well, like
the sound is amazing.
Yeah. It does sound amazing.
Well, the guitarist in my band that does the podcast with me, he comes up with such random stuff, and we got off on it because I called him something. We give each other complete hell on that thing, and I said something about this illegitimate looking guy over here, and they were like, "How does someone look illegitimate?" He goes, "Well, this is like some Mongolian throat monkey looking guy," pointing back to me, and I was like, "Where did he get Mongolian throat monkey from?" And I'm just like, and then we proceed to look it up, and then unfold all this stuff, and of course we're doing it while we're recording, so it's like half the show we're spending like somebody is spending time like looking up stuff on their phone, and it's just like it's ridiculous, but
oh my gosh, that is amazing.
Yeah, it's freeing, man. I my wife actually was the one who encouraged me to do it, and it's like, because I'm like, God, podcasts are a dime a dozen, but you know what, here's the thing, I don't care if 5 people listen to it, 50 people listen to it, it's just fun to do.
Sorry.
Oh no, you're fine.
I absolutely. It's not about how many this or how many that.
It's about the passion you have for it.
Yeah, exactly. 100%.
You got to write and do things for you. I mean, don't get me wrong. Right. Sure, you want other people to enjoy it, but if you're not enjoying it, what the hell's the point?
Exactly.
Right. And people see right through that too.
Right. Yeah, because people, authenticity, man, is one of those things that can really stand out.
Yeah. Especially in this day and age, I feel like, it's very, I think there needs to be more of that, but I think it's happening.
Yeah. Oh, absolutely. And,
for sure.
I haven't been the biggest, over the years, it's like some of the stuff going on in the music industry, it's just like, just seems like some of the same stuff going on and on and on. But I love that bands like Plush, or like we were just talking about, the Who, are we've actually got Ghost coming here in August. Some of my favorite bands, because they're all doing something different, and I love it. And this will be like my 3rd time seeing Ghost. Actually, 1st time since my son was born. Last time I saw Ghost, my wife was full on pregnant with my kid.
Oh my gosh, was she there?
Oh yeah, well yeah, she was with me at the show, and poor thing. She had morning sickness all through her pregnancy, and every freaking concert we went to, somebody lit up some of the wacky tobacco, and boy, that smell would hit her, and she was like, and we actually saw Metallica. Yeah, we saw Metallica while she was pregnant. And I swear to God, I thought she was about to yak in her cup because somebody was lighting up right around us, and I was like, oh
no, that's horrible.
It was hilarious though, because me and her,
Oh my gosh,
we're both big proponents of legalization and everything, but God have mercy, we both just hate smelling it. It's like, just pop me a gummy and chill me out. I'm good.
Right, especially when you're pregnant. Like,
yeah, absolutely.
That smell is the worst.
Yeah, it was fun, but you know, it was cool getting to still do all these things. And each one of these shows, actually, my son was born literally about a week or so after one of the times we saw Trans-Siberian Orchestra, which I'm a huge TS
really
fan. Yeah, and God, we had seriously probably the best seats. It was another couple that went with us, and their child was actually due the day before ours, but Gideon decided to come early, and we had like third row seats. Like, I could have spat and hit like Chris Caffrey in the face. I was that close to him. I was like, holy cow. And it was awesome. And just the sound from it. And Tessa said the whole time Gideon was just like cartwheeling in her stomach. And it was just
my gosh. Oh
yeah, it's really cool. And that kid has really gotten into music. He's 5 years old now. We've already bought him an electronic drum kit. Only with headphones to start with. So but he loves it, and I'm really excited that he's going to go into music as well.
Yeah. Oh my gosh, that's awesome.
Indeed. And you know, going back to what you were saying about the tour, I knew somehow the Evanescence was going to get mentioned as far as one of the favorite tours you guys were on.
Yeah, that was definitely a really like crazy, dare I say, spiritual moment, like for me personally.
Really?
Like,
I can imagine.
Yeah, like yeah, really amazing. It's one of, like, I remember going to that tour and I'm like, listen, if we don't ever do anything after this again, I can die happy. Like,
oh yeah,
seriously, like that was amazing.
Yeah, those are experiences. And actually doing what I do gives me kind of rare opportunities to get to do some things. And it's like, you know, there are times I talk about, you know, income being like this, but it's like, there's a lot of fun things that have come from working in radio. One of the coolest things I did was actually the first year me and my wife were married. We had just come back from visiting her brother that she didn't even know existed. That was a year younger than her. We came back and Skillet was playing a birthday bash of ours. And I was interviewing John Cooper. And I know a lot of times when he plays Monster, he puts his bass down and just likes to focus on being a frontman. So, you know, I just kind of thought I'd be clever. And I said, hey, man, you should get me up there to play bass for you sometime. And he goes, well, you know how to play Monster? And I totally bluffed and said, yeah, I had no clue how to play Monster. And then he goes, well, hey, come get up on stage and do it. And I'm sitting here like,
you're kidding.
When the interview was over, I was like, are you serious? And he goes, yeah. So, and again, I mentioned I was left-handed. I said, Tessa, I would love you forever. Could you run home and grab one of my basses? And we went back there. And we were like, the tour manager's going to look at me like I've got three heads. Of course, tour manager looked at me like we had three heads. Hopped on the walkie to John, and John says, hey, bring him on back. John taught me how to play it backstage, and next thing you know, I'm out there playing it with him. And that was seriously one of the coolest things that has probably ever happened to me.
That's so amazing.
Are you serious?
Yeah, it was crazy. There's actually a video on YouTube where I'm up there playing on stage with Skillet.
Okay, so if we stay here for now.
Oh my gosh. You're gonna have to wait, can you please send that after this? I
need to see that.
I really want to see it. That's amazing. And Skillet was one of my favorite bands growing up. I had their I would always jam to the Comatose album, like all the time.
You're gonna say Comatose, man. That's still like my favorite one.
Yeah, so amazing. That's so cool. Oh my gosh.
Rebirthing is seriously probably like one of their best songs ever. Just absolutely.
How amazing is that song? Oh my gosh, it gives me chills. It still gives me chills.
Absolutely. Yeah, like, I can shoot that link to is it Barbara that I think put this together? Yeah, I can shoot the link to Barbara to have her shoot that over to you guys.
Yeah,
that would be amazing.
That'd be awesome.
It was a lot of fun. Now we got to get you guys in the upstate, but of course, I'm not going to take Ashley's spot. I'm just going to be like, hey, I'll just be out in the audience watching you guys and cheering you on.
Hey, if you want us to jam a bass, go right ahead.
Hey, it's fun, man. It's one of those things. It's just playing music. Only people who do it really understand.
Absolutely.
And it's like I've even told my wife, I said, listen, not to be vulgar here, but it's like playing on stage better than sex and lasts a lot longer. It just is that there's something that you just, until you get up on stage and you're playing in front of people, there's nothing else like it.
Right. No, there really isn't.
And I'm
It's an energetic transfer.
Yeah. It's always
absolutely.
such a special moment.
It's spiritual.
Yeah, it really
100%.
is. And the craziest part, people ask me if I was nervous about playing it. I wasn't a bit nervous playing in front of people. I was more nervous playing in front of the band, playing their song. I was like, I really don't want to put this up right here in front of them.
Oh my gosh, I couldn't even imagine. I'd be like, oh my God.
Well, hey, I was talking about TSO. You got to tour with the West Coast, right?
Yes.
How cool was that?
So it was so amazing. Like it was really, I hate, okay, this is going to sound really annoying because we've already mentioned this like 3 times already, but actually that was another spiritual experience for me. It did a lot for me for my personal growth as a person and mentally and everything. And it was also just obviously an amazing opportunity. And I just, the people there were so amazing. I made really awesome friends. And it's a very like family oriented thing. Like everybody's like family. So it's really awesome.
Right. And hey,
yeah,
I understand about the spirituality of TSO. I've always told people going to TSO is like my religious experience, or, every year, because I've been every year since 2007, minus of course 2020. Thank you, COVID. But I've gone every year and gone backstage a few times and, talking about bass players. David Z, God rest, was one of the coolest guys I ever met. And then when he died in that unfortunate accident with Adrenaline Mob, I was just like, it was heartbreaking. It was the same year they lost now why is his name not coming to me? Paul O'Neill.
Yeah.
I was like, that's just 2 heavy hitters they lost in the same year. It was just unreal.
It's devastating. Absolutely.
So do you think you would ever do the TSO again?
Yes, absolutely. In a heartbeat.
You'll be like, hey, listen, guys, we're not going to schedule any shows around the holidays because I'm going to do this.
Oh my gosh. Yeah, it really is amazing. It's an amazing thing. I would do it. I would do it every single year as they would have me, so. And
as much as, getting on stage and playing with a band, I would love to do that with TSO, but I also know that as tight as that band is, I mean, their musicianship is just, it's one of the tightest shows you'll ever see. So it's not like, you can get a little loose with something. TSO, you have to be tight. And I'm just like, I would be terribly nervous that I'd mess something up for them.
It is a very tight, like they have like, like in the in-ears, there are like count-offs and cues and all these things. And like, they're even in line with the they even time it. So like they're on beat with the pyro. Like, I'm just like, damn, like this is crazy.
Yeah.
It really is so insane. The catwalks, I don't know how they walk on the catwalks and they play at the same time. And I'm like, oh my gosh, I would lose it. That's so high up there. Like,
and you're like me, you fell out of the short tree. So that hike means even more to you. You're like, oh my God.
Sure did. Yeah.
I'm like, I'm 5'4", my wife is 5'2" or 3, just depending on the day. So and it's crazy.
I feel that.
And it's crazy. My son is 5.5 today. And no joke, he's already 4'2", and he weighs 96 pounds. Your average 5-year-old weighs 40 to 45 pounds. The kid is huge.
Oh my gosh.
Yeah, so he's gonna be like a
wow.
truck.
Dang.
Yeah.
So he's gonna be like 8 feet tall.
Yeah, that's what I keep saying. But like we do the math and you start factoring in our heights and it says, oh, he's gonna be like 5'10". I'm like, bullshit. Ain't no way. He's gonna be
Maybe
no 5'10".
genetics just added your heights together to equal the height of your child.
Yeah, and I was just like, that's not cool. Don't hold that against him. He's gonna keep on growing. I'm like, please go. Speaking of heights, I've always wondered who's the tallest one. Is it you or is it Bella?
I think it
It's
might
Bella, I
be
think.
Bella.
Okay.
I think it's Bella for sure.
Because I
She's
always
tall,
see
man.
well, in a lot of the pictures, I'll see that Ashley looks a little bit taller, but then I'll look down and I'm like, she's wearing platforms about
It's
that
probably my
big.
shoes. Yeah.
So I was always like, which one's taller?
It's definitely not me.
Yeah. Well, yeah. Being short, man, it's so anybody that's tall, I'm like, trust me, live the life of like when you're like a half pint. It sucks. One of the most fun things, I was in a band one time and the guitarist told me, he says, man, the first time I met you, you intimidated me. I said, really? He goes, yeah. Then you stood up. I was like,
Oh,
because
they didn't have to go there.
well,
They didn't have to say all that.
You know, I've always had this build like I would be much taller than I am, but it's like somewhere along the way, God was just like, nope, we're gonna stop him right there. I was like, okay.
We should have went around guessing everybody's heights before we really did the height reveal.
Oh yeah.
Yeah. Well, if I were to guess, I thought you would be like 6'3" or something.
Yeah,
and
I thought so too. You
sucks.
look
I'm built
tall.
like it. I've got these like shoulders, and it's like I look all big, and then it's like I stand up. It's like, wait a minute, did you stand up? I'm like, yes, I did.
Oh my gosh.
Yeah.
Did you stand up?
Well, and I know because I know Moriah, you're the only height I know because you're 4'11". Or have you ever broke 5 yet?
My license says 5 foot.
Oh, really? So you're like, thank you for that.
So whatever your license says. No, I'm just kidding. But yeah.
Legally,
like
you're 5 feet tall.
Yeah.
I'm like 4'11" and something quarters, but I'm like almost 5 foot. I'm literally almost right there. I'm 5 foot. Like,
No, you are there. It's a mindset.
And
I swear, it's a mentality.
There was one time.
Height is a societal construct.
Exactly.
There was one time I think I had actually made it to 5'5", but I don't know if something happened and like, you know, spine compression happened and I just went right back to 5'4" or what it is. Because, you know, they say the older you get shorter. I'm like, no, don't do that.
No, it's true. It's true. My Nana, she's really short like me too. That's where, well, I guess I'm short like her, but that's where like I got the genes from it. Like, of course it skipped a generation because both my parents are like super average height, but my Nana is like me. So like she is, I think she was like 5'1", 5'2", and we would always compare heights, but she's literally since is like every time I see her, she gets shorter. She's shorter than me now, and she's never shorter than me. So it totally does. They shrink.
Well, you know, with
Absolutely.
my son, everybody keeps asking me, is there anybody tall in your family? And I'm like, my grandfather. And so it's like one of those weird things that it just kind of, because he was like seriously the only person that was tall. He was tall and lanky. All the rest of us were short and fat. It was a great time. So I think Gideon's going to get a little bit of the both. He's going to get the tall and he's going to get the stocky. So
the tall gene spawns.
Generation.
Yeah. Just hope he doesn't catch some of the other stuff. My poor uncle, whenever I go to the doctor and it says a family history of all these things, my uncle is the reason why I'm having to check most of it, because the poor guy had like diabetes to the point he had to wear an insulin pump. He had like,
oh wow,
God.
He had like a tumorous growth on his neck. He had like stents put in his heart. I was like, this poor guy caught everything. And I was just like, so anytime I fill out family history at the doctor, it's like, thank you, Uncle Jandre. So it's good times.
Oh man.
All right. Well, I have kept you guys for long enough, I think, but I've really enjoyed having you guys. Y'all are really fun to talk to, and it's just been a fun experience. And I'm really looking forward to that next album. Hopefully, I know you said you don't have a date. You think it'll be before end of the year, or?
It might be, but probably early next year.
Okay.
I would think, but I really don't know. So don't take my word on that.
Well, hey, definitely don't rush it. We want the best. And
yeah, we're definitely gonna put some good work into it and shut up, Ashley.
That being said, the album will be out tomorrow. No, I'm kidding.
So, see, now that one surprised me because
never...
what is it? These artists, they'll like Taylor Swift did it with an album or two. It's like, oh, hey, guess what? Here's an album, and then you're just like, what?
Where did that come from?
Best surprise ever.
It fell from the sky.
So if y'all shoot the album out surprise like that, y'all better dedicate it to me. Y'all better be like, got one on you. Here you go.
For sure.
Got one on you.
Yeah, absolutely. Well, guys, I can't wait for the album. Hopefully we can get you in upstate South Carolina sometime. I know y'all played Charlotte before, but because of my son, it's like an act of Congress to get me to travel further than like 30 minutes for a show. It really is.
I don't know if I've ever heard that one before. That's a good one.
Well, act of Congress, yeah, it really is. It's a wonderful thing. Yeah, I love the kid to death, and this is actually been one of the first nights that I'm not going to be there at bedtime. So I'm really praying for my wife because I know he's not going to be happy about daddy not being there for bedtime. So I'm just like, yeah, he's the sweetest kid, man. So hopefully.
Oh, I bet he is. You're his dad.
Well, yeah. Well, thank you. I appreciate that. I'm hoping I'm doing something right. I didn't have a whole lot to base on. So I was just like, let's just see how being a dad works.
You guys seem like awesome parents.
Absolutely.
We definitely try to be fun parents, and I'm definitely the fun one. Not that my wife isn't fun, but daddy does all the crazy things and he's all about the shenanigans. Matter of fact, for St. Patty's Day, we both had matching shirts talking about up to shenanigans and malarkey, and my wife got a shenanigans coordinator shirt. So it's kind of like she has to reel us all in from all our crazy shenanigans.
That's cute. That's
amazing.
Yep, it was fun. So yeah, we get to have a lot of fun like that. So I honestly can't wait till he's old enough to go to a show. He has autism, but he's a very high functioning autistic kid, and it's just he can get a little overwhelmed. But I already know the very first show that kid goes to is going to be Trans-Siberian Orchestra because he loves them. And of course, he loves Daddy's band. He loves the station. Like he's always talking, go 93.3 the planet. And he's like, sometimes we'll my wife to bring him here just so it. And of course, once he gets here, I ain't getting shit done at that point. I'm like, great. Well, there we go. I got all I'm going to get done at this point. But it's a lot of fun.
It sounds it.
Yeah, so that's something to look forward to if y'all ever decide to have kids, and don't be in a rush for it. I was 41 when he was born, so I get to be the old guy.
Absolutely.
That's not old though. That is not old.
No, it's really honestly, not at all.
Well, I'm glad that I did not have kids anytime before then, because I would have been having them with any number of the women that were in my life before my wife, and I'm like, I'm glad we don't share a child, that we don't share spawn together. That would have been a nightmare.
You need to make a thesaurus based on your vocabulary so I can study it and pick up your phrases.
Oh, sorry.
They're great. That's why I'm saying
it's
that you need to do it. They're great.
I've always wanted to put out a book called Twistedisms, because I'll put crazy stuff on Facebook and I'll hashtag Twistedisms. So
Active Congress better be on that Facebook.
Yeah, so do a search for hashtag Twistedisms. See if any of it comes up. That'd be awesome.
I'm gonna.
I think you're onto something.
Yep.
I'd buy the book. That's all I'm saying.
I would too.
Awesome. That, and if I ever did an autobiography, I actually started to write one years ago, and I was going to call it "I Want to Be a Supervillain," because it was one of those things that I was, got picked on a lot as a kid, but then came out to do all the fun stuff that I do. And it was one of those things, you're always like, that kid, if he ever acquired superpowers, that's going to be a dangerous kid because he's going to be the one, he's going to become the supervillain. And any true supervillain honestly thinks what they're doing for the good, but it's a little bit skewed view there.
Right. You're just being a smidge toxic.
Yeah, just
but that's fine.
Hey, some of the best people are, right?
Oh man.
Well, guys, it has been fun, and I could sit here and do this forever, but I don't want to keep you
guys
today. But hey, if you guys ever get to come to upstate South Carolina, we got to do a big thing backstage and just have a lot of fun with it.
Absolutely.
That'd be awesome.
And my son may not make it, but my wife will definitely be with me. So
we'd love to meet her.
Oh yeah, she's super cool.
That's awesome. She sounds it.
Yeah, absolutely. Well, guys, I appreciate it, and hopefully we can do this again soon.
Yeah, for sure.
Definitely.
Thank you so much. This was so much fun.
It was. Thank you for having us.
Let's go ahead and make the appointment now. Right before the album comes out, we're going to do another one.
Yes. Done.
So, matter of fact, I'm going to email Barbara here in just a minute. I'll send her that Skillet link, and I'll say, hey, when the album comes out, right before it comes out, we're going to do another one of these.
Yes. Okay, perfect.
Absolutely. Well, guys, y'all take it easy, have fun, and I hope to talk to y'all soon.
Thank you so
You too.
much.
Thank you so much, Todd.
Take care.
Absolutely. Have a good one.
You too.